they fucked up in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Jake and what is even the female's name? Zila?
No. Nala. Is it Nala or is that?
The line.
Like, that is
Let's roll with Nala.
Oh yeah.
Simba and Nala interlope, and they do the weird ponytail.
Yeah.
So everyone is just having sex with animals. This entire movie is just people fucking turtles, whales, dolphins, squirrels, Sigourney Weaver's avatar while it's in a coma.
Hold down that fucking turtle and I'm gonna fuck it.
The big fucking pterodactyl thing that fucking Bill Cosby's giving it a roofie and fucking it with his ponytail. They're all fucking animals.
It's not.
Like nobody else. I've never seen any of the other Avatar fucking Na'vi people combine the things, other than when Simba and Nala had sex.
It's not consistent. It's not consistent.
I think it is. I think they're just fucking animals.
No. I mean, the point is that they didn't go into it, right? That's the point. They alluded to the fact that joining the thing is having sex, but whether or not they actually physically have sex, and that's just used as like a kinky sort of thing.
Yeah, further
heightening the sensations.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I think they do connect, and then it pans away, and then they do actually have sex.
So because then otherwise you're exactly correct, and they're fucking animals.
That's all I can see. Every scene. Avatar, the movie.
No, Jake.
Animals.
That is forbidden. Not where I come from.
That turtle is sleeping, Jake. I'll wake him up. Hold him down. I like it when he squirms. Come, kids, watch me fuck the turtle. This is the way of water. No means no. So, Stephen, 47 years ago, Avatar 1 came out and everyone was like,
Back in my day, we didn't have green sea people. We had blue people.
We had blue forest people.
That's right.
And I, for one, don't approve of these teal sea people. I like my good old jungle blue people and no divergences.
No changes.
But no, Avatar came out and I liked it when it came out. I was young.
Everybody liked it.
Yeah,
It's designed. It's designed for people to like it.
Yeah,
It's
it's one of your like basic archetypical heroes' journeys. It's Pocahontas. It's Dances with Wolves. It's Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces. And then it was like, revolutionary in like its motion capture.
Yes.
Everything was all mocap. It was on the faces. They got all the expressions and matched all their movements and made a big CGI movie.
It's like a psychological thing, right? It's like this foreign sort of world, where these people are living this simple life and blah blah blah, and you very much want to go and live that life and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So it drew a lot of people in, and it's nothing surprising about James Cameron, right?
Yeah, I mean, Terminator's like a nightmare hellscape.
That's true, but I meant from like an execution level, right?
He likes water.
Yeah.
That's evident.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the first one, right?
Yeah.
The second one, so we watched the second
Well, we're not there yet.
Alright.
Maybe we're there. I rewatched Avatar. Did you rewatch Avatar?
I've seen Avatar a bunch of times.
I hadn't watched it in a decade. I mean, I think I've seen it at the movies like 4 times, and I watched it a million times, but I hadn't seen it in a decade. And it's funny how it shifted, right? Like, people loved it, and then the tides shifted, and everyone was like, it's just visuals, it's just pretty, and the story's garbage. But, it's weird. That's like saying, like, the first Star Wars is garbage because it's Merlin, it's a sword in the stone. That's like saying that, like, stories, if they're basic and archetypical, are inherently garbage, and you need like an overly complex technical.
I think the point is is that you have to kind of separate it. It represents. It's one of the great examples of sort of like, I don't want to say Hollywood schlock, right? But like the golden age of Hollywood schlock, right? It's like a mainstream, high budget movie.
Well,
right?
it was Hollywood schlock when Hollywood schlock was a director with a single vision making a movie,
A
not
simple movie.
a council of bean counters and this like amalgamation.
Fast and the Furious
we need this,
25
we need this,
or whatever.
we need this, we need this to please this demographic, we need this to please this demographic. That's too violent, that's too offensive, that's too dark, that's confusing. So yeah, it's like, you know, Lucas and Spielberg and Cameron and Ridley, there were directors that had visions that made movies in the 90s. And Avatar, yeah, kind of came at the end of that era. But yeah, I rewatched it. And the story's fine. It's just the characters are very like two-dimensional.
The shallow characters, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the main antagonist, he's got no depth or nuance. He's evil commander man, and then I mean, I guess like Jake Sully, the wheelchair guy, has he has a character, but you know, they're all very like
surface level.
God damn it, Steve, turn your phone off!
There are different ways to make films that have CG characters. What we're interested in with performance capture is the totality of the performance.
Yes, Avatar 1, it's alright. I'm fine with the basic, simple storyline as far as it's well executed. Just, I think the characters needed like a tiny bit of nuance or depth or like something, not just 2D characters.
It's like the morals thing, right? The morals in the first Avatar are very clear cut, right? You've got the good guys and the bad guys. Jake Sully's a good guy. He realizes that these people are evil and they're doing bad things, and he desperately wants to, blah blah blah, and then he falls for them and things like that.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, it's fucking Pocahontas. I don't know, and I get. It's a valid criticism, right? That they are shallow characters. It is a valid. That's not invalid. Right?
Yeah, well, I like The Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire and Breaking Bad and like real Mad Men. Fucking what's the fucking Deadwood like. I like character dramas.
Yeah.
And when you watch, Evil Commander Man, and it's a bit like, well, maybe he could like dogs, so, there's something going on.
Yeah, you gotta give us something to humanize the character, but they didn't do that. That is a valid criticism, and that's fine, right? I won't sort of walk around that idea. I think it is, you either accept it or you don't. Right? Yeah. You either accept that is that type of movie, and on the spectrum of sort of very vanilla, stock standard Hollywood movies, the first Avatar is pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie, especially in today's day and age when you see Rogue One get torn apart last minute and the editing and then just all these different it's a vision from James Cameron, the guy that brought us Terminator and Aliens and Titanic and The Abyss.
It's consistent. It's consistent with itself.
It's good.
Yeah. It's
47 years later.
it's a consistent movie, right? It's like a movie that doesn't have weird sort of pacing issues and
doesn't
things
have tonal issues. It's not all over the shot.
No.
And like I said, the motion capture was revolutionary.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And even still now, it's 15 years old. You watch it and you're like, this is pretty goddamn good.
Well, I just like the world building.
That's fair, and it is something new in this day and age of. Even though it's not new, it's old, and it's a sequel.
It's still novel. It still has a sense. It still has a good sci-fi movie.
It's not Batman or Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel. It's not one of those 5 fucking IPs, intellectual properties that just are vomited back into our mouths again and again.
The world building, a good or at least a decent sci-fi movie will have a sense of novelty about it that will.
We should be interested and fascinated in the world.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're out.
And I'd say I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, I think this was scheduled to come out in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, 15 years of delays. It's 2047. And Avatar 2, The Way of Slaughter comes out. And it's kind of the same thing.
It's exactly
it's
the same
a sequel
thing.
to Avatar. It's beautiful. I mean, they have gone further once again, and they've developed technology once again. I mean, they did motion capture underwater, which is kind of crazy and kind of insane when you think about it, because motion capture is dots that are captured by a lens, and then you track the movements, and water shifts all that. So like they did it again. They did it again, Steve.
And it's interesting, right? So, and actually, this point actually applies to video games, and it's about the technical proficiency of the crossover between cinema and CGI, right? And how a good director or a good producer will take something that's a good amount of CGI and will treat it as if it's a movie, right? So it's like in this is way at the end, right? Where they're in the sinking ship, right? And they're in with the flashing lights and all that sort of stuff, and it looks like a set. Right? Whether it is a set or not, it doesn't really matter. It's almost indistinguishable.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what is real.
The point is all the filming and all the framing and all the lighting and all the set pieces and all the stuff look like somebody who knows how to make a movie, but they're making a video game, basically. But when, it's a lot of CGI. Right?
It's all CGI, pretty much. I mean, 90% of it.
So it's like, it's the difference between saying, oh, well, because it's all CGI, we can do all these crazy things that we wouldn't be able to do normally. And when you do that, even though they did do it a couple of times, when you do that for the majority of it, it takes you out of the movie, right? Because it's unrealistic.
It was actually surprisingly grounded, even compared to the first one. The first one ends in like a big, like, world-ending battle, but this is like much smaller. It was like a ship with like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 Na'vi, and it was like a little family drama. So it was like, especially compared to like Hollywood blockbusters and like your Endgame and stuff, and I know that they built up to Endgame 40,000 films, but it just sounds weird because it's not at all, but it was like rather small and contained.
It was surprisingly small. I felt exactly the same sort of thing.
It wasn't like, the planet's going to explode, 10,000 armies.
They didn't escalate. I was waiting for it. I was watching it, I'm waiting and going, okay, I'm waiting for the moment that it just goes, right? And just loses all sense of grounding and all perspective and all that sort of stuff. And it didn't do that as far as scope.
I think because it is motion capture and it is actors acting it out, they're not just inventing all of it from scratch. There are still like long shots, and it's not cutting really quick, and it's not all sporadic, and it's not all weird, and James Cameron knows how to make an action sequence. It's paced nice and flows nice, and the action and the beats and all the shots, like when the whale had the boat and pulling the wire through it and stuff. It wasn't like, just cutting super quick and garbage everywhere. You're trying to look and you're confused and you're dazed. It was nice. It flowed out at a nice level.
But I think it definitely suffered from multi-movie syndrome, right? Where there were more than one movie happening at the same time, or at least it would cut from one movie to a different movie. Right? It wasn't clear. It didn't have a consistent, nice pace where it's having the A plot and the B plot and the C plot. Right? It was having the drama with the kids trying to integrate with the C people, and it was also, and so we would cut away from the main threat for ages and ages and ages, right? Even though we just spent all that time with the main threat because of the setup, because it is a sequel. They had to lead from that, which creates problems when you then want to recreate the same sort of thing from the first movie, which is the characters, the fish out of water characters, right? With a new foreign land and a new foreign culture, and trying to integrate.
I think that's when the movie kind of slows down, because it goes for like 3 hours and 12 minutes without credits or something. And when they get to the sea folk and they're doing the sea thing, that's where I think you can like take 40 minutes out of it. Like,
you just need to decide what you're doing. You just need to decide what you're doing, right? It's hard to sort of quantify, right?
Well, it is structured like a normal movie, like you payoff, setup, 3-act structure, but it just goes for ages. Like each act is like an hour.
And it just
So like that second act, it goes for like.
Well, it had so much going on that it picks up a plot and then it drops it. It's like Kitty is her name. or whatever, the one with the powers or whatever.
Yeah, well,
that technically pays off, right? But that's like a whole plot in of itself, right?
Yeah.
Is she's not the main character, but we're doing this plot with her.
That just felt like that was setting something up for the next one to me.
Well, that's fine. Well,
The mystery of Sigourney.
Spider, same sort of thing. Again, even though it was setting up for something to pay off, right?
Yeah, theoretically.
It almost feels like they just need to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
So we could deal with the actual Na'vi, because, you know, he's not like them, he's smaller and can't do what they can do, and
I criticise the characters in Avatar 1, and this did, with the kids, have more, like...
I had more
character work.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I loved all the character
Even the
work.
Colonel in this one, like the first one, he's like a 2D hoorah marine. Like this one is like, I'm a big alien guy, but I'm not that guy. You're my son, but I care for you, but I don't care for you.
Yeah.
We're related, but we're not related. So there's a little bit
That
more
was good.
going
I
on.
like that.
And
I like-
Spider's drawn, you know.
Yeah.
He's
but,
not one side or the other.
But it's like how they, in terms of, say, world building, right? The stakes of the movie, we pick up, instead of doing, what was it, unobtainium in the first one, we pick up this whale goo, right? The
That didn't really need to be there. All it needed to be was Commander wants to kill Jake Sully.
Yeah, it doesn't need. Well, then they were also saying Earth's dying as well, and I can't remember whether that was in the first one, but it's like they pick that up, and then we drop it.
Yeah.
As if that's sufficient motivation for these characters. Why can't it just be, we want to colonise this planet?
Yeah.
Right? They don't need to pick it up.
They don't need to do the whaling fucking allegory. Was that on the nose for you, Steve? Or
Oh.
did you have a real emotional connection to the whales?
It was so on the nose. It was like, oh, whale is bad. It's like...
Thank you, James Cameron.
I did not
I
know
thought
that.
whaling was good.
It's like you just didn't need to do that, right? And it's like these people, again, it feels so contrived that the only reason that we're hunting these whales is because of a serum that stops aging. And again, that's just another throwaway line.
Yeah, that was a line.
Yeah, why can't it just be, it can't just be something real fucking simple, like the whales are there and we're using them as a reason to get to Jake Sully.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be, oh, well, no, we hunt whales normally, right? You know, maybe that wouldn't have worked.
Be
but-
like a Game of Thrones situation where like you set up the Na'vi and then you set up the white colonialists, and neither are good, neither are bad. They're both groups of individuals who have people who are good on this side and people who are bad on this side and people who are bad on this side, and there's conflict. It's just on the nose when it's like tribalism is good and white colonialism is bad. It's like yes and no. It should be more. It is more complex that in real life. I know this isn't real life, but like, I mean, I guess what's his name from Flight of the Conchords, Geraint Clemens. He was kind of.
He was the worst part of that subplot.
There was moments where like he's on a boat getting towed and flipped and like thrown,
And he's like, ha, ha,
his
ha.
life is like on the brink of getting extinguished, and he's like, whoa.
I guess they've got the power now, aren't they? Who's smart now?
Do you not fear for like dying?
But he's there doing it. He's helping them. He's helping them kill these
Yeah, but
whales.
disgruntledly. He's a
Ah,
scientist.
that's right. Yeah. So
So yeah, like I think they should all be like complex, conflicted characters and have good, like have bad Na'vi.
yeah. I don't know. It's just
It was a good movie. I think we're giving it a hard time, but it was a good movie.
The problem is yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. It was a beautiful to watch, technically proficient movie with pretty good character development, but just some of the things were just a bit silly, right? They contrast. The problem is when you have bits and pieces that heavily contrast the rest of it, right? That's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah,
you know.
I thought it was pretty concise in tone and stuff.
Well, this is for me again. It had too much going on.
Yeah,
right?
like too many characters doing too many different things.
Yeah, well, too many stories to tell, right? And once again, the with Kitty or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I understand that obviously it is setting it up for the thing, and even though it kind of like the point is that the actual saving grace, which was the thing that you put on to fucking
the breather. Why didn't they just take breathers into battle?
I don't know. Yeah, but the point is that she didn't need all the powers to help them. Like the situation wasn't so contrived or whatever that she even needed to do any of that, right?
Yeah.
They were just in a thing. Someone just needed to go and find them, right?
Yeah, so like Sigourney Weaver died in the first one, and now her avatar, which I thought died in the first one, is just in a pod?
Yeah, I guess her mind got transferred to the thing, and so her avatar body keeps living if they suspend it in the thing.
So she's just a vegetable?
Just a vegetable, yeah, I believe that's probably...
That was pregnant.
No comment.
Somebody impregnated.
Well, they had another throwaway line, and again, it's as if we had a movie, a sub-movie about Kitty, right? And how, you know, her mother is this and this happened to her mother, and then they have a throwaway line about, oh, maybe she was canoodling with old mate, you know, while they were doing that. And it's like, you know...
Yeah, I assume... Because he's filmed Avatar 2 and 3 at the same time, so it is theoretically coming out in 2 years.
Wow.
And James Cameron is always stringent with his release dates, so it's definitely coming out in 2 years. So theoretically there'll be some resolution to the mystery around Kitty's father, and like some revelation, and then some climax with her powers.
Yeah, there has to be.
She can like tap deeper into the consciousness of the.
That's fine as like an intermediate movie. I guess if, you know, in bloody 20 years when we've got 5 movies or something, right, it might all be totally fine in context, right? Like watching a goddamn TV show.
It's rough in the day of age with like your Game of Thrones and your House of the Dragon and all that, like, you know, fucking 100 hours of fucking storytelling, and then you try to make a 2-hour movie and you want to like bring people in, and
it's like Dune.
Yeah.
They dropped part of Debris, right? And it was acted by old mate, and that would have been really excellent to see more of him.
We get like one scene of him, and it's a scene where he betrays the Duke. So
yeah. So it's and you know, like
either you strip it right down, or you just make it like a 10-hour fucking limited series for Netflix.
Yeah, that's right.
Although I hate that shit, and I want to go to the movies again. So
no,
I'm conflicted.
Well, I think I don't know.
He's trying to tell a bigger story, but it's hard to do it in a film.
I think that's perfectly fine. Right? I think that he did a good job in doing that. Right? And I think at the end of the day, I enjoyed this movie, and the point is that any criticism or leveling at it, you know, it's all kind of, it's not nitpicking, right? It's a little bit less superficial than just nitpicking. It's like the voiceovers were a bit on the nose, right? Like trying to get the story across of what Jake Sully's thinking. Or well, why can't we just see the character dealing with that? Right?
Yeah, it's definitely toned down the pandering to the audience and explaining it than the first one, because the first one does a lot of that, like voiceover of Jake telling you what's happening rather than showing you. And I guess he is aiming this at, like, you know, fucking 5-year-old kids to 8-year-olds.
That's fair,
so
yeah.
Maybe you need, it's not for us, right? It's for like, it's for everyone. He's trying to make, you know how films used to be like, God damn it, phone! He's trying to make this for everyone, so yeah, I guess, like Ella, maybe that, I took my daughter to it, and Jasper took his kids to it, so maybe that benefited them. Maybe if it didn't have that, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
No, that's fair, I get it, right? Yeah, it's not a film that's meant to be criticised, right? Like picked apart, you know?
Yeah!
Yeah, but it's not a film that deserves to be picked apart, I don't think. That's the point, I'm just doing it for...
I think in this day of age, in these Hollywood blockbuster schlock, like, it had like a certain level of like care to it and like beauty to it. Like every shot of painting, everything was beautiful. It didn't look like Thor: Love and Thunder, where it was just like vomit colors on like a dumb like they didn't fucking care, you know, it's just digital and it's black. Like this, you can see the little creases in the
it's beautiful. It's
visually, it's amazing. Just narratively, it's simple.
It's got some,
it's not even bad, it's just simple.
No. Well, it's got it leaves some things to be desired for me. But it was beautiful to watch, and in a lot of ways I appreciate that, right?
Yeah, because it felt more like a movie of old. handcrafted, and like they cared. It felt like they cared.
Yeah,
and they did care.
They did
because
care.
they took fucking 40 years to make it. And like they're swimming around. Kate Winslet played the pregnant leader.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a scene. I don't know what scene in the movie it was, but she held her breath for like 7 minutes underwater doing some fucking crazy mocap thing, and it like set a world record or some shit apparently. For a movie, people have held their breath underwater.
Yeah, for like 45 minutes. Or
but like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, definitely.
There's certain like craftsmanship to the visuals and like the action sequences.
It was noticeable that somebody gave a shit, and that makes me enjoy a movie.
It wasn't
right?
like rushed into production and then the directors were fired halfway through and then they scrambled to reassess and then they just said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
And then it made like 100 million and then just bombed and they're like,
Yeah, we don't care about it, buddy.
James Cameron cares.
Yeah, he cared and I cared. I was invested in what was going on, and that's fine. There's not that much else to say about it, really. I think everybody is. I think it's going to make its money based purely off the sort of core through line of the plot and also the visuals, right? The craftsmanship.
$1 billion to break even.
Ooh, I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, yeah, I think like the biggest grossing movie ever with this Avatar 1 is like $1 billion and a bit.
Yeah.
So it needs to do well.
It needs to do really well.
Yeah, it's doing really well so far, but it could drop off or it could continue. Who knows?
The big record-setting blockbusters hit about $1 billion.
Yeah,
that's what they hit.
Yeah,
they Titanic, Avatar, Endgame. They all hit about $1 billion.
Yeah,
and then they sort of go.
Well, yeah, there is only X amount of people in the world, X amount of people that'll see it 10 times, and X that'll see it once. So yeah, I guess the high watermark is like $1 billion and a bit. So
we'll see.
Maybe it'll make its money back. But yeah, I guess maybe he just sort of kind of doesn't care.
Oh no, he's got so much cred with Hollywood that he can do whatever the hell he wants. Really,
and I guess number 3 is already like completed to such a degree that they can't just throw it in the bin.
If we get another movie that's like this one, but is more like a sort of finale, not really finale, but like has a bit more closure to it.
Yeah, I think 3 would be nice, but he's talking about 5.
Yeah.
Also, how old is James Cameron? Is this like another George R. Martin thing, where it's like...
I'm still working on it. It's coming.
The 3rd one's gonna come out in like 2040, and the 5th and 6th ones are gonna come out in like 2070.
That's when you go to the movies and plug your brain into the thing, and that's how you watch
James Cameron's 1,000 years old. He's in an Avatar body, making fucking underwater movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'm glad this exists. I'm glad this movie exists, and
I enjoyed watching it. It's a good, solid movie.
Yeah.
Like a B+.
Yeah, B+.
And maybe that's like my cynical brain just being jaded by garbage and then going in and be like, oh, this is an actual like well executed movie.
Yeah, it's like a movie.
It's one of their movies. Remember?
Yeah, well, we're super cynical.
Yeah,
right? And
so
twisted, as you said,
old man.
As you said, it's not for us, right? We're not.
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
But us specifically, we want something dark and complex and gritty and violent.
Don't get me wrong.
I would like the violence pushed 90%.
A bit further. Well, you can't have the rating then, can ya?
Well, then you can't have the kids. And then
You're gonna take Ella to watch Blade Runner 2047, 2049.
Yeah. Well, The Northman is my movie, and it fucking bombed. Like that movie.
That's exactly
is made
right
for me.
you. Yeah.
It's psychedelic. It's weird. It's trippy. It's ethereal. It's violent. It's brutal. It's confusing. It's nonsensical. It's insane.
And the audience score and the box office reflects that. Rightly, it should, right?
So I'm wrong and James Cameron's right.
That's the litmus test.
It turns out that the guy that made the Terminator when he was my age knows better than me. And the guy talking about the Terminator in his garage doesn't know better.
No, that's right. That's fair. Huh? Bow yourself down to
James Cameron.
And his water Native Indian movies.
Yeah.
I'm the father. It's my job.
Everything that Jake Sully as a Na'vi does, Sam has done.
Eddie Falcone's in this from The Sopranos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All respect to Eddie Falcone. Carmela Soprano. Did you see her?
No.
She was the lady. The old lady that looks exactly like Carmelo.
Oh, yeah. The general.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering where I remember her
Her
from.
accent's completely different.
Yeah.
She's not a New Jersey housewife. She's like some American military.
I liked the new spin on the human colonizers, right? I thought it was interesting that they sort of came back and they were like, okay, well, we're not going to go and set up in the middle of the jungle. We're going to go to the desert.
Yeah.
Right, and we're going to go set up over there.
Yeah.
And do all that sort of. There was sort of like a fresh sort of. They're back with attitude sort of thing.
I like the fact there's a lot of New Zealand actors in it too.
Yeah,
They're filming it down in like a Weta Digital, Peter Jackson's thing, because Andy Serkis and Gollum, like that started motion capture like 20 years ago. So I like the fact that you see all those like Maori guys.
I like that. I always
thing.
appreciate that when
And it's
we
great
see
for the New
Maoris.
Zealand economy. Like you got this zillion-dollar fucking movie down there. And also because Peter Jackson made some fucking little tiny Lord of the
put
Rings
him on the
movie.
map.
Yeah, and just exploded and revolutionized motion capture and just created an industry down in New Zealand.
Good
Who
on
would have
them.
thought of it?
Good on them. Yeah, no, I always loved hearing Kiwis and seeing Kiwis in movies. I don't know, they always do a really good job.
Jermaine Clements, the Flight of the Conchords guy, he didn't have his Kiwi accent.
No.
I think he was trying to do an American. It was kind of New Zealandy sometimes,
It was a
and
bit
American-y
wishy-washy.
sometimes. Just make him have a Kiwi accent.
Well, I think that character shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
He should have just been less on the nose, less blatant, like more subtle.
Yeah. But-
There should just be more subtlety in general, I think.
Yeah, well, specifically with that part of if that section of the movie, that through line of the movie,
Whaling is bad.
The bit about the whaling, if that had been about 1,000,000 times more subtle, then it would have elevated this movie.
I actually liked watching all the mechanics of how they were fucking the whales up.
No, I like that. I like the world building of
We
it.
enjoyed the whales dying.
Kill the
supposed
fucking
to
whale.
kill the fucking whales, shoot them with their fucking balloons.
Oh, they're so smart. Oh, they're way more intelligent than us. Yeah, the emotional center of their brain is like 10 times bigger than ours. Yeah.
The polar opposites of what's going on there was kind of interesting, but he talks about them being better at like mathematics and philosophy.
And
it's like, why do whales need to do mathematics?
But we just don't need any of that. We just don't need any of that.
We've all seen Blackfish 30 years ago.
Yeah. I think the
But
point.
yeah, I guess it's for kids, right? Do kids know that whaling's bad?
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's teaching Ella that whaling's bad.
The point is, as well, is it doesn't really make sense from like we've got this super advanced. Oh, I guess it makes sense if they're harvesting something that stops aging. That's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be literally no reason.
Flying to the other side of the galaxy?
I like how they say Earth is dying, so we have to live here. So let's destroy everything.
Humans bad.
Yeah.
White humans bad. White colonial men humans bad. Men human white colonial bad. Tribal good. Tribal good.
Subjugate the natives. Let's destroy the ecosystem. Let's kill all the whales, the super intelligent whales. Let's just burn this place to the fucking ground.
That's all we do.
I mean,
humans are only bad.
To be very fair,
we do that.
That we probably would do exactly that. That if we found out that there was a planet with whales with a goo that stops aging, we would be there tomorrow.
James Cameron will be having a bath in it, playing Avatar 47.
Oh no!
Avatar 300 will come out.
Jeff Bezos would be on the first inbound nuclear missile that's going to scorch that planet, right? Just so we can harvest the whale. He would ride it like old mate rides the bowling thing, right?
That's fair. Yeah, Doctor Strange love.
Right? The humanity would unite on a single quest to go and fuck this planet. Just so we can have the whale goo.
That's fair.
So it's not.
It's not that it's wrong. I just think it's executed a bit heavy-handed. But once again, it's for kids
Yeah,
and adults.
Yeah,
Let me check my notes. Motion capture, Love and Thunder, Kate Winslet, 7 minutes. Oh, and then my notes are upside down. Wailing bad, heavy-handed, or moving? 2D antagonist. Oh yeah, they killed the wrong son. They killed the cunt. They killed the son with 0 character development.
Oh no.
You had the rebel that was like the outsider.
With the whale. And
then you had the son that didn't have a character and he died. And like, I tip my hat.
But that's the reason that they killed him.
But we'd care more if they wanted the character.
That's right. That's why they can't kill him.
I like the fact that they went as far to kill one of the kids, but
he was a red shirt.
Spend 3 hours setting the kid up and then kill him.
He was a red shirt.
Imagine if like the one that loved the whale. Also, they fucked up in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Jake and what is even the female's name? Zila?
No. Nala. Is it Nala or is that
the line?
Like, that is
Let's roll with Nala.
Oh yeah.
Simba and Nala interlope. And they do the weird ponytail thing.
Yeah.
So everyone is just having sex with animals. This entire movie is just people fucking turtles, whales, dolphins, squirrels, Sigourney Weaver's avatar while it's in a coma.
Hold down that fucking turtle and I'm gonna fuck it.
The big fucking pterodactyl thing, the fucking Bill Cosby's giving it a roofie and fucking it with his ponytail. They're all fucking animals.
It's not.
Like nobody else. I've never seen any of the other Avatar fucking Na'vi people combine the things, other than when Simba and Nala had sex.
It's not consistent. It's not consistent.
I think it is. I think they're just fucking animals.
No. I mean, the point is that they didn't go into it, right? That's the point. They alluded to the fact that joining the thing is having sex, but whether or not they actually physically have sex, and that's just used as like a kinky sort of thing.
Further
heightening the sensations.
Yeah,
right.
I think they do connect, and then it pans away, and then they do actually have sex.
So because then otherwise you're exactly correct, and they're fucking animals.
That's all I can see. Every scene. Avatar, the movie.
No, Jake,
animals.
that is forbidden. Not where I come from.
That turtle is sleeping, Jake. I'll wake him up. Hold him down. I like it when he squirms. Come, kids, watch me fuck the turtle. This is the way of water. No means no.
Oh, that's the real Peter animal cruelty message, right? Don't
fuck animals.
Fuck animals.
That's the point of the movie. No, actually, the point of the movie is do fuck animals. Don't kill them, fuck them. Thanks, James Cameron.
Thanks, James Cameron.
Stop murdering the whales. I want to have sex with them.
Thanks to James Cameron, I've learned a valuable life lesson that I will now live my life by. Oh no.
I've heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you, but I don't know about it.
Cunt loves water, Abyss, Titanic, this. Have you seen all the movies he made going down in the submarine to Titanic?
I know about the docos where he went down to?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen those.
It's a fucking crazy.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, right? Well, it'd be a reef now, right? Yeah.
It's like turning into rusticles. It's like breaking apart and then turning into like stalactites. But
where it sort of disintegrates away. Yeah. I've seen like actually a 3D rendering of the inside of the Titan. Not what sunk, but while it was still around.
Well, he actually went into the Great Hall, and he was one of the people that went back to it after no one had been there for 20 years and stuff. He's not just revolutionizing movies, but going
sea
to
exploration.
The Titanic. He likes water. He likes the Titanic. He likes splashing, and he likes fucking animals. What more can we say about Avatar: The Way of Water?
Look,
it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good movie.
I'd go see it again probably. Huh?
Wow. Have you ever seen a movie twice?
Yeah, probably. Probably. It would be like Blade Runner or Mad Max or something.
Yeah. I don't think you've seen either of them twice.
I saw something. Didn't we go see
None of the
something
movies.
a bunch of times?
You and Jasper betrayed me and went to see the new Star Wars, and then I dragged you to it again.
That's right.
And you're
Yeah.
still like, it was still average.
It's still average. No, I'm not talking about Star
We're
Wars.
not talking about Star Wars.
I don't
We're
think
not
that-
hey, this wasn't fucking Star Wars.
That's true.
Let's be
Oh, yeah.
thankful. This was fucking so much better than The Last
Yeah.
Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah.
was a movie
Yeah.
by a filmmaker. One filmmaker.
I enjoyed it.
that wasn't rushed out. That took 14 years to fucking make.
Is that the litmus test of how well a movie is, based on how long it takes
I
to
mean,
make?
if it takes 14 minutes and it's still garbage, then you got a fucking problem. Nah, I'm good. It took me 20 years. This is garbage.
Yeah, this
Aw.
fucking sucks. Oh. Oh.
Alright, do you have anything else you want to say,
No,
Stephen?
no, it's good. Huh?
Avatar, Way of Water, I give it a B+.
The Way of the Warrior.
The Last Airbender, The Way of Slaughter.
Avatar, We Were Warriors.
We Were Warriors. New Zealand, tribal faces. They're fucking animals. It's a B+. Thank you and good night!